This is the talus, the calcaneus, the navicular, the cuboid, and the cuneiforms. This is the base of the metatarsals and the heads of the metatarsals. This is the first metatarsal, second metatarsal, third metatarsal, fourth metatarsal, and fifth metatarsal. This is the first proximal phalanx, the second proximal phalanx, third proximal phalanx, fourth proximal phalanx, and fifth proximal phalanx. This is the second middle phalanx, the third middle phalanx, the fourth middle phalanx, and the fifth middle phalanx. This is the first distal phalanx, the second distal phalanx, the third distal phalanx, the fourth distal phalanx, and the fifth distal phalanx. This is the transverse arch, the lateral longitudinal arch, and the medial longitudinal arch. This is a talus, a calcaneus, and a navicular. This is a fibula. This is the proximal end and the distal end. This is the head of the fibula, the neck of the fibula, the shaft of the fibula, and the lateral malleolus. This is a left tibia. This is the medial condyle, the lateral condyle, the intercondylar eminence, the tibial tuberosity, the anterior crest, and the medial malleolus. This is a left patella. You can tell because when it's unbalanced, it falls back to the left. This is the base of the patella and the apex of the patella. This is a right femur. This is the head of the femur, the neck of the femur. This is the greater trochanter and the lesser trochanter. This is the intertrochanteric line and the intertrochanteric crest. This is the gluteal tuberosity and the linea aspera. This is the lateral epicondyle and the medial epicondyle. This is the lateral condyle and the medial condyle. This is the patellar surface, and this is the intercondylar fossa. This is a left pelvic bone. This is the ilium, the ischium, and the pubis. This is the anterior superior iliac spine, the anterior inferior iliac spine, the posterior superior iliac spine, and the posterior inferior iliac spine. This is the iliac crest and the iliac fossa. This is the ischial ramus, the inferior ramus, and the superior ramus. This is the ischial tuberosity, the pubic symphysis, the obturator foramen, the acetabulum, the ischial spine, the greater sciatic notch, and the lesser sciatic notch. This is the pisiform. This is the triquetral, the lunate, the scaphoid, the trapezium, the trapezoid, the capitate, and the hamate. This is the first metacarpal, the second metacarpal, the third metacarpal, the fourth metacarpal, the fifth metacarpal. This is the second proximal phalanx, the third proximal phalanx, the fourth proximal phalanx, and the fifth proximal phalanx. The second middle phalanx, third middle phalanx, fourth middle phalanx, fifth middle phalanx. This is the second distal phalanx, third distal phalanx, fourth distal phalanx, fifth distal phalanx, and this is the first proximal phalanx and the first distal phalanx. This is a capitate, a hamate, and a pisiform. This is a left ulna. This is the trochlear notch, the radial notch, the coronoid process, the olecranon, the head of the ulna, and the styloid process. This is a right radius. This is the head of the radius, the neck of the radius, the radial tuberosity, and the styloid process. This is a left humerus. This is the head of the humerus, the anatomical neck, the surgical neck. This is the greater tubercle, the lesser tubercle, the intertubercular or bicipital groove. This is the deltoid tuberosity. This is the medial epicondyle, the lateral epicondyle, the trochlea, the capitulum, the coronoid fossa, the radial fossa, and the olecranon fossa. This is the scapula. It's a right scapula. This is the medial border, the lateral border, the superior border, the superior angle, the inferior angle. This is the spine of the scapula, the supraspinous fossa, the infraspinous fossa. This is the glenoid cavity or fossa. This is the coracoid process. This is the acromial process. This is the subscapular fossa and the suprascapular notch. So this is the clavicle, and you can tell that it's a right clavicle because the rough surface is on the bottom. This is the lateral end, and this is the medial end.